Welcome to A Toast to Truth, where I share the mental, financial, and emotional frustrations of being an entrepreneur. This is Season 4, Episode 3, End of the Road. Before we dive into today's episode, let me ask you this. When it's time to end something, such as a business, do you know how? Also, do you know when to let go? Today's topic makes me want to sing Boyz II Men song, End of the Road, but I won't because I'm not paying for that airtime. Anyway, today's topic was a long, drawn-out experience, but I kept it going until 2016, and technically it's still a legal business now in 2017, but I'm going to explain what's happening with Women Are Game Changers, okay? I'm currently in the process of dissolving that business as we speak. It will be closed this year. I had to call the state to learn how to dissolve a business. That was a few phone calls with several different agencies. I needed to know how to let my LLC dissolve. I have to let the IRS know. I have to remove the company from Hub vendor list. There's a lot. So you can't just say, oh, I stopped doing business. Not if you have your business attached to the government where they know about it. You do have there is a process that you must go through. Okay. So it all came to everyone wanting their money. That's why it's taken such a long time. I can't shut the door until everyone gets their money or whatever's owed them, i.e. the IRS. Okay, so before any of the proceedings could take place, I have to pay my taxes. Uncle Sam always gets paid unless you're Trump and think you deserve the loophole protection. Okay, back to us. The small businesses that fuel and finance America, we have to do things right and legal. And that's what I'm going to share in this episode, how to legally end your business and how I knew it was time for me to really let it go. So it was no longer a financial drain. Now, while we spent the previous 2 episodes of Season 4 focused on the mental, which is the transition, and the emotional, which were the changes, today we're going to talk about finances. Money, y'all. Keeping a business that not only wasn't profitable, but not bringing in money for years is not smart. Now, I was making money, but I was not making a sustainable amount of money where I wasn't always stressed out about where my next check was coming. Okay. So I never had like an abundance of income with Women Are Game Changers. I just had money. I always had like barely enough, and that's just not good. Not when you're running a business. That's not good. Now, only if you have an infusion of cash can you even think about doing this. I wasted thousands of dollars, thousands, keeping up a facade. And for whom? I honestly can't tell you. I spent so much money in a money pit of a business structure. Okay, y'all remember that movie, Money Pit? With Shelley Long? I think it was Shelley Long. Anyway, it was a funny movie. Okay, because I didn't know what to do. My business structure was very unorganized. My financial resources kept being thrown into a money pit because I didn't know what to do, and I kept trying to find a coach to help me, and I seemed to only have attracted people who took my money. So needless to say, it was just utter chaos. Okay. I had so many people I was listening to because I'm seeing all of these people online who say they can do this, create a business. They're making all this money. They're doing all these wonderful things. And all I see is what they share. And I'm thinking, I'm doing what they're doing, but why am I not making the same amount of money they say they're making? So then you start getting overwhelmed. You start getting frustrated. And frustrated because you're like, why is this not working for me? Now, trying to do everything I saw others do, it led me to going broke and my business in debt. So what did I do to end this financial drain on my bank account? Because I did have to close one bank account because it was hard to always have insufficient funds in that account, trying to pull money from another account and keep all these business accounts afloat. So I finally closed one. I'm at a smaller bank. It's a Black-owned bank. And so it financially, that's working out better for me than when I was at another bank. But anyway, okay, so what did I do to end this financial drain on my bank account and to get out of business debt? I cut all expenses to necessary. That's if it was not a necessary expense, if it's not something that I must have every single month for my business, then it was cut. I spent a year helping people move with me to my new business as well. I went back to teaching full time, which helped me to pay off all of my business debt. I made the decision to let go and allow the dissolution process of my old business to begin. Okay. And I still want to sell some of the products and programs that I have, as well as my tour. They're still good. It's just not where I'm headed professionally. So if you are interested in seeing what products or to purchase the tour that comes along with its own set of products, please let me know. Just go to my website to get my email address and email me and we can discuss that. But since I still have those products, I knew going back to the classroom was a surefire way to bring in consistent money to help me dig my way out of the hole that I had dug. Plus, in my mastermind I took through Women's CEO Project a couple of years ago, it was suggested to one of the other ladies that if she wanted money, then to get a job. It was shocking for all of us because you're thinking, oh, this is business. But the guest expert said, if you really want money quick, get a job. Because guess what? The job's going to pay you either weekly, bi-weekly, twice a month, whatever the case may be. That is the quickest way to get money. So that getting a job has brought in an infusion of cash to help propel my business quicker. So I'm able to have a lot of things, even though you may not see it. There is a lot of stuff happening for the Truth Confidant behind the scenes that I could not do for Women Are Game Changers. The agonizing decision to go back to a job, and I discussed this in the last episode, but I felt embarrassed. I felt ashamed. I felt like a failure. And let me clarify. I felt like a failure, but I'm not a failure. I felt like a failure because what I was working on wasn't successful in my eyes. But myself, who I am, I'm not a failure. So I want to make that clear because sometimes when people fail at something, they take it out on themselves personally. You failed at an action, but you did not fail at being you. I failed at an action. I failed at a business, but I did not fail at being Vernetta. I can't fail at being Vernetta because I'm just too cool. Plan. But I am a little confident in myself. I can't fail at being myself because I thoroughly enjoy my own company. And so I posted off topic, but I'm going to share this. I posted on Instagram about how I needed bold, drastic, noticeable change in my life. So I dyed my hair candy apple red. And it is candy apple red. The stylist and I worked for hours to get this color right. We had to do it more than one time because the first time it didn't take the way we thought it would. So we added another red on there and it came out the way she had envisioned for me. I went to a barber, had him cut my hair. I said, put some cool design in it or whatever. Like I needed change because I felt that my life was becoming blah. And that was because I felt this sadness with I am officially letting go of women are game changers. And I can't believe something I started on a whim that I created at 1:17 a.m. on September 17th, 2011. I remember the time because I was crying on the phone to the hosting company because I had no idea how to set up a website. I was just utterly frustrated and overwhelmed because I'm not a tech savvy person. But we got through it. I'm saying all of this to say I could not figure out why I was feeling blah in my life. And it hit me. I am letting go of something that had become a part of my identity in other people's eyes. But I had removed myself from the identity of women are game changers over a year ago. However, other people have not let go of that identity. And I felt like there's going to be some type of disconnect between myself and other people. So I said I needed change. I completely needed change because I didn't want to be the replication of someone else's business. I am a person who likes to try different things with my hair. And I felt, according to all these people I listen to, you have an image to protect. You have to look and act a certain way in business. So I fell into this box of branding that I did not agree with. Guess what? My hair is candy apple red. And I walked into that school I teach in on Monday morning with candy apple red. Every single person at that school has given me a compliment. Every single person who's seen me since my hair is red has given me a compliment. And it's crazy because, this another random story. This guy was having some kind of drama fit. He stopped, looked at me, shouted out, "Hey, love your cut," and went right back to his little rampage or whatever he was doing. But all of that positive energy people are giving me for my hair, that positive energy really helped me see that it's okay for me to leave and move away from women are game changers, that me stepping into the truth confidant, me being able to wear my hair any color I want to, being able to be vulnerable, being able to be honest, being able to share in a very transparent way my business journey. That's who I am. And I can't feel blah when I am stepping into and honoring who I am. So we talked about this in season 2, episode 11 a little bit as well. But I knew if I wanted true longevity, then hard decisions and follow up were a must. No other option. I needed to make a decision, then I needed to act on that decision, and I needed to follow up on that decision. So before I share more about the decisions that have led me to where I am today, let's take a sip. I help entrepreneurs and educators protect their peace by preventing stress and frustration from taking over. Each week in the Truth Confidant with Vernetta R. Freeney Facebook group, I share information, resources, and weekly lessons as it relates to mental detox. In order to have peace in your life, you must know the correct action to take to get it, preserve it, and prevent anything from taking it away. Request to join today and start your process to a peace-filled life. See you in there, the Truth Confidant with Vernetta R. Freeney Facebook group. Okay, so let's get into the different things that I talked about before the break. Okay, so what led me to closing Women Are Game Changers? Money. I was spending more money than I was making. And you cannot continue to live in a state of robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's just chaotic and insane. Yet I did it year after year, and it was insane. And it was just completely insane to try to keep up this facade, to try to keep up this image, this expectation I felt other people had of me because I created something with a distinct name that everybody fell in love with. Well, guess what? Everybody fell in love with the name, but everyone who fell in love with the name wasn't financially falling in love with supporting it. And you can only give so much when it's coming out of your pocket, and the money you are making is having to be split between keeping your business afloat and paying your bills so you can live. And I talked about, this being a homeless entrepreneur in season 1. I believe it was episode 2. I believe. I'm not sure. But hey, go listen to all of my past episodes so you can catch up. Anyway, what led me to close Women Are Game Changers? I'm not the person who feels like an empowering, motivational speaker. That's just not me. And that's what a lot of people wanted from Women Are Game Changers. And I don't really care to motivate you to do what you need to do in your own life. That's just not my cup of tea. What I do enjoy doing is teaching you how to have peace, but I'm not going to be your cheerleader and motivate you. And that's what people were wanting with Women Are Game Changers. So what I know I can do and what people wanted weren't in alignment. And so things were being clashed all the time. People enjoyed Fusion Tour. I enjoyed doing it. But at the same time, it was something that I knew I wasn't going to do forever. And if I was going to do it forever, then people needed to like it a little bit more financially and not gripe about the prices that I had. The prices I had needed to be there because you were getting a full meal and you were at a nice hotel. Like, you can't expect $25 for the type of quality that I was bringing to that event. So people wanted to gripe about the prices. I decided, you know what? I'm just not going to have this event anymore. Now, I could have looked for other ways to reach a different market, but that cost money. And that was money I did not have because, again, I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I was just struggling to really pay for marketing for this tour. And on top of that, all of the suggestions I had about marketing this tour, I was paying these people in these local cities and they weren't doing anything. So I was spending a lot of money and getting nothing, no results for it. And so again, that's just more money being put in a money pit. At the end of the day, I really had to evaluate. And during that 4 months, I stayed with my grandfather last year. And again, looking at Women Are Game Changers was one of the decisions that needed to be made. I realized I needed to close it. That was the only decision that could be made at that point. To try to salvage it, to try to make shifts and changes with it, were just not going to work because people who follow the blog wanted a certain thing and moving them was just not possible. Starting over was the only option I had. So the business of Women Are Game Changers will be closed in 2017. The trademark of Women Are Game Changers is still owned by me. So no, you cannot use it. The blog, Women Are Game Changers, is run by my mother now. She wanted a space and she's all motivational type of inspiration person. That is true. That is my mother. So she has it, and that over 40 crowd, they're loving it, and I love it for them. So everything worked out. I'm happy about that. I am able to walk away, and having red hair that I'm still getting used to because I have not had this shade of red since I was probably 20 years old. But I realized in order for me to be the Truth Confidant, in order for me to have a business called the Truth Confidant, I had to be true to myself. And Women Are Game Changers was no longer true to me. Being stuck in a box based on branding labels and branding guidelines from other people was not true to me. being able to be bold, being able to be drastic at times, and being noticeable without saying a word. That's true to me. And that's what I needed my appearance to reflect. So I closed Women Are Game Changers because it was a money pit. I still have the trademark, and my mother will run the blog. All she wanted was a Facebook and Twitter, so everything else was shut down. So no, Women Are Game Changers is not anywhere else but on Facebook and Twitter. And she enjoys it, and I'm happy for her. So what led me to close Women Are Game Changers? It was a money pit, and I made a wise business decision that was hard to make, but I stopped putting financial resources in something that I was not giving 100% to. So why did I feel going back to the classroom was a good idea? I needed money. Let's be honest. I needed money to get out of the debt that I had gotten into with Women Are Game Changers. And I'm a really, really good teacher. I know that. And I can honestly say that proudly, that I am an exceptional teacher in the classroom. So I knew I could get a job as a teacher. And I've taught ESL. This is my 10th year teaching it. I go in there and I do my job, and I do it very, very well. So it was easy for me to go and do something that I can do with my eyes closed and know I'm going to get paid for it. And that money is going to help get me out of a financial situation I had gotten myself into. That's just smart. It is. And whether people agree with going back to a job and not sticking it out and, hustling and grinding, that's your opinion. But as someone who has done this for 5.5 years, being in that entrepreneurial world, I know it's smart to figure out how to get an infusion of cash. Fusion Tour worked out well because I won a pitch competition from some investors in Austin. So I got an infusion of cash to have that tour. So I know what works, and I needed to do what works. And I could not even consider what other people would think about that decision, because at this point, the only thing that mattered was getting out of business debt, closing the business, doing what's right for me, and creating a business that's true to who I am. How did I get out of debt? Well, pretty much I worked my tail off at that school. I accepted every class they offered because it's an adult school. You get contracts based on the classes. So classes can be anywhere from 5 to 7 weeks. Okay. I accepted every single class that was offered. The times I was not teaching, I subbed for other people who needed to take off. I was working my behind off. I was teaching anywhere from, 4 to 12 hour, well, probably 10-hour days sometimes. I did everything I could because I knew I had a goal. My goal was to get out of business debt by December 31st, 2016. I paid off all of my business debt December 30th, 2016, because I made the decision. I don't even want to say it's a sacrifice. I know people say that sacrifice is good and you have to make sacrifices to get what you want. I don't think it's a sacrifice. I think it's a decision. You have to make a bold, drastic, and noticeable decision. And the only way I can make that decision was to go back into the classroom so that I can get consistent money coming in. And guess what? I was able to pay my debt off. And now I have some financial footing because there is a conference that I'm going to in June, and I keep speaking about it. You gotta go back to episode 1 of this season to hear what conference that is. And I easily paid for my flight, for the ticket, and I'm trying to find a roommate for the hotel, but I'm probably gonna just end up getting the hotel, and someone who needs a roommate. As we get closer to it, I will let them room with me. But I don't have any stress about paying for that. And I can honestly say I'm excited to go to this conference because I know learning the information at this conference, I will be able to utilize the financial resources from the job that I have temporarily, because I do not plan to be in the classroom forever, but I do plan to be there long enough to utilize the money into a smart, productive, and efficient way to build my business. Now, all of these decisions, what do they mean for my future? They mean I get to live in peace because I'm not stressing out about money. I get to actually not have to rush decisions in business because I'm trying to get out there and hustle and make money. I get to be smart. I get to be wise. I get to be practical. I also get to take my time. And that's important because I build Women Are Game Changers in such a hurried fashion that I really feel there were so many steps that I missed because I was just trying to get money. I was so desperate and in such need of money that I was doing whatever I needed to do to get that money. I was taking every client I could. I was taking every opportunity that came my way, whether I liked the opportunity or not. If it had money attached to it, I was doing it. And so, I wasn't able to build a brand message. I wasn't able to build a true brand. I wasn't able to build a business because I never had time to work on the business as I was always working in the business. So the decision that I made to close Women Are Game Changers, go back and get a job temporarily. I am 100% debt free. I can wake up every day and say, I can do all the things that I want to do, and I can do it cheerfully, and I can do it in peace. And I'm excited because now I get to travel a little bit more because I have the discretionary funds to go back and do something I enjoy, and that's doing quick weekend getaways or a trip. Like I went to Haiti last year. I've always wanted to go to that country. Season 3, I believe it is episode 4. You can hear about my trip to Haiti. But it was probably one of the most life-changing moments of my life. I was talking to a mental detox strategy client, and I was telling this client that me going to Haiti was my awakening to realize that if I really want to live life, then I need to live it. Because I'm seeing the beauty of this country, the beauty of those people. And people have all these negative and horrible stories about this country. And I'm seeing it with my own eyes. And yes, there's devastation. And yes, there's poverty there. But there's a richness to that culture, is a richness to that country. And as I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? If I was still in that hurried state of mind, I would have never, ever gone on this trip. And I wouldn't have never, ever been able to just sit and enjoy the beauty that I'm seeing with my own eyes. That trip helped me realize that the life that I want to live, I want to enjoy and embrace and breathe in every moment. I don't ever want to forsake moments again because I'm too stressed out or I'm too frustrated or I'm in such a rush to actually sit back and enjoy them. All the decisions I have made were made with me being able to enjoy, embrace a peaceful life and travel and do more traveling. Okay. So we are getting ready for our final toast. The spring out of stress tip is to know that walking away is an empowering method to push you in the direction you are meant to go. Knowing that dragging something along your journey after it no longer serves you or your purpose is just going to bring you down. You're just going to be frustrated that it's not working. Cut it off, walk away. Opportunity presents itself when you are free from dead weight. This is season 4, episode 3, End of the Road. To catch up on all past episodes of A Toast to Truth, you can go to my website, VernettaRFreeney.com.